Well, howdy. Someone the other day commented that their naps are taking naps. That's how many naps they're taking. And I feel that. I feel that from all of your energy. Man, you guys are just tired. You guys. Some of you too are increasing caffeine as a byproduct of this tiredness. Caffeine feels important. The exhaustion is it's volatile here. So it's probably a way to power through this peak of exhaustion. An increase, a decrease, a focus on caffeine seems important right away. Jumping straight into this baby, there's a lot and there are unique flavors that will not fit with everyone today. The death card comes through, but literally here, like we're literally going to talk about death. Not that anyone's dying, please, guys, don't get scared. It's your guides trying to explain something to you through death. This feels like an assertive topic. Death is kind of taboo, right? Unless we're talking about like Scorpio or tower moments, but this is like maybe something that needs disclaimers. I don't know. It's the relationship to death, not necessarily that death will occur. So a disclaimer about this reading is like some death themes are here. The hidden is here, the occult. It's not polite. It's just darker to some degree. So if you're squeamish with the dark, maybe this isn't your reading. I don't know. Or maybe it is. Maybe you need to hear more about the dark. I don't know. Definitely potent in these deeper, darker places. Death, sex, the hidden. You might be in a deeper place right now. This isn't like depressed by conventional standards, although it might appear that way from the outside. It really doesn't have to be that anything is wrong. I sense there is a message for someone just going through heaviness, either recently or have just gotten out of it, like a heaviness they haven't quite experienced before. A lot of you might also be experiencing a person in relation to this heaviness, either caused or indirectly caused. There's something spiritually being shown through that relational dynamic. I know some of you don't want to hear about a person, but relational dynamics are the most charged energies to read. For example, this could be like a loss of a person or a friend that is very heavy on you or has been very heavy on you. You're being shown something through that loss that needs to be heard today. Losing you, losing them, that loss. That's important. It's showing me death here. So I'll just say this. This is not a message for the lighthearted. This is not a warm message telling you your dreams are coming through, but it's also not negative. It's also not saying, you are going to die. It's very neutral, but it has heavier, more hidden, darker themes. So if you're going through something heavy or you are just getting out of something heavy and you feel that resonates with you, and it's either in connection with a person or it's alone, and you'll know what I mean, this is your reading. Welcome to your reading. The first odd thing here is some of you are highly underestimating the level of output you are producing. And I think it's because it doesn't look like conventional productivity. Like I'm being shown someone like just kind of needing to relax, not having energy reserves to do things. Your guides and spirit are showing me you're expelling a lot of energy in ways you can't see. This energy of like thinking deeply, processing emotionally. This is invisible output. You're doing the equivalent of a full-time job by working through this, either emotionally or mentally. And I think that this is why some people stay repressed and stay stuck for lifetimes, is because the energy it's taking you to process this is usually not an option. And for some reason, either you're doing it anyway or you don't have a choice. Your guides are sort of forcing you to process this. So I guess just this first part is saying, do not underestimate the emotional and mental output you are doing right now. You are not looking productive, but you are doing more than most people even touch in their lifetimes, in many lifetimes. So just trust me, trust your guides on that. It's really important you know this as you're doing it. It's really important that you're conscious of it. Otherwise, you'll think that you're sort of failing or you're sort of not doing enough. It's asking for an acknowledgement of this, definitely. Okay, so getting into death here. Y'all ready? Do you guys know what a dark night of the soul is? My hunch is a lot of you have heard this, have had to have heard of this, but if you haven't, this is something that has been around a long time. It describes the experience of great loss, essentially, when everything else around you falls away. It is the loss that makes you actually hear yourself. A dark night of the soul is critical to enlightenment. There's a lot of different interpretations of it. Of course, it's been around a long time. There's also a lot of different terms that kind of intersect with it, like tower, ego death, liminal space, individuation. We like to, in the spiritual community, kind of like clumsily mush terms together for the same energy. And basically, a dark night of the soul is an experience that everyone talks about who's been enlightened, that everyone talks about who's made it out of that. And I see you're either still in it, you're coming out of it. It's very a part of your experience at this time. For you, what I see, why this is being brought up here, if you're familiar with it, if you're not, your guides are showing me this dark night of the soul, what you went through, what you're going through. And then they're repeating to me, let them lose you. Let them lose you. Let them lose you. Like chanting it. Let them lose you. I think I have to say that a couple of times in this. Let them lose you. Some of you have dark nights going on or in the past that's involved with a relational experience with a person of loss. The loss is entangled is the reason for your dark night. The loss is a big factor of this, whether they lost you or you lost them. This message is kind of explaining to you first that a dark night, what you went through, what you're going through, serves an important purpose in your path. It's revealing to you what you're releasing to find yourself. I might leave more notes in the description because there are areas of charts that are coming through if you are curious sort of what needed to fall away or what maybe you might be working on in relation to your dark night, specifically in your chart. So I'll leave that for you all if it resonates, but it doesn't have to. A good example of this that seems to keep presenting itself to me is like in the past, before this dark night, you focused on fixing things, but this dark night, this liminal space, what it's doing here, what purpose it's serving for you is it's here to change your relationship to fixing things. I can see that clearly. Depending on where it's falling in your chart matters, but overall, for most of you, it is establishing a different mindset. You no longer fix. You just know yourself so deeply that you choose differently. That's what it's solving. And so, God, while this experience feels painful and hard, definitely for what you're going through. It's meant to obviously do some sort of transformation. You might feel that, but it can't transform you without breaking you down, which is what some of you are experiencing right now or recently getting out of. You are feeling exhausted. You are still broken down in ways. This person that did this, that kickstarted this deep soul rebirth, it's pushing you into a process where it's not fixing you. It's not fixing any broken part of you. That's not what a dark night does. And I think there's a misconception is Spirit wants to say it is changing your relationship to fixing itself. You are not fixing anything. You are learning that the problem isn't a problem itself. It's just being aware of yourself deeply enough. And so that's what the dark night's purpose is here for. And this first part is really just explaining to you very clearly are going through this or did go through this. And it's not here to break you down and fix all the problems. It's actually breaking you down and showing you that you're not here to fix the problems. You're not here to fix or solve. You're here to know your problems well enough to move differently with them. And that's why it's hard. I think a big part of this first part is like, that's why it's hard to see progress. It's not going to correct the ways in which you experienced problems. It's going to change you from the inside out. It changes your perspective on fixing them as a whole. So lots here about fixing. Again, chart stuff in the description. You are not breaking down to fix broken parts. You are breaking down so you know yourself so deeply that you choose differently. That's what this is doing. And so there's no mirror of like progress for this. And we almost want that. Like we want to be broken down and then see a change, see like a positive. And that's not what this is doing. This is fundamentally changing how you respond. Just forget about fixing. That's this first part is just saying it's not fixing anything by breaking you down. It's not rebuilding something that's broken. It is changing your perspective to choose differently. And that is the first part of this message. This is interesting. I don't know. There's a note here that will not resonate for everyone. It's a little bit too narrow. It's more narrow than I usually get, but productivity, exercise, and fitness, they all seem to be a part of this. And this is probably that fixing energy that I keep getting. So exercise, gym, fitness might be on your radar at this time. It's coming through. Either you're focusing on it, you just change something about it. Something is different, good or bad, in this area of your life. And so what I'm seeing here is you at the gym not counting sets. I'm seeing doing exercise repetitions and not counting or measuring them, just going by vibes. Just how long does it take my muscles to stop working? That's how I count, which is fair. And I mean, what's interesting about this, being shown this, is like there's so many rules and structures in a gym. There's a lot of space to be extra. And what's interesting about showing me this is you're participating in this extra space, this space of structure, but you're not participating in the structure itself. You're creating your own. Like, these are my limits. This is my intuition. So this could be something you literally do, but I think it's showing me more of an intuitive awareness inside of structure. So what's interesting is it's connecting to death in this reading. It's connecting to this concept of death that I gave the disclaimer for. So it's showing me you are going through this dark night here, and the goal is to change you from the inside out, not fix you, not break you down and rebuild a new person. It is changing your perspective to fixing itself. And the way it's showing me that it's doing this is small awareness. You begin noticing things like that you have never counted sets in the gym. That becomes on your radar weirdly. Like, why have I never counted these? That's what I'm being shown here. Like, it's kind of odd. Everybody else counts them. Why don't I? It doesn't have to show like this. You could be noticing this in small other ways, like just a weird awareness for certain things you've done the same way your whole life or regularly. All of a sudden you're like, why have I always done it this way? You begin noticing small synchronicities. That more attention, more awareness is on the external for you in ways it hasn't. So what Spirit's showing me is you begin to consciously become aware of things that you never were throughout your life. All of a sudden you have just this immense detail fixation. And this is showing to me through death because it's a death of the old ways you remain disassociated. It's a death of an old you. Your identity, your old way of doing things is dying. This exercise thing, this metaphor, is showing me a connection to death. And it's a weird one, okay? So the past version of you that didn't count sets at the gym, your guides are showing me you were not connected to death in the way that you are now being connected to it. Hear me out. I know this sounds insane that these two things are being connected, but when you weren't counting your sets, when you didn't have awareness to your sets at the gym, you were not connected to death, to the idea of dying, to your older self. And this dark night of the soul is sort of pushing you in this direction, in this awareness direction of life and true remembering of how short it is and the impermanence of life. And this might seem insane, but there's a second death meaning here. Apart from losing and letting go of these old versions of you that they're like dying, your guides want you to connect with death. They want you to be more conscious of death, more close to it. And this might be confirming to you, if you've been around circumstances of death more recently, that this is just confirming that. There's a reason for that. But then on an abstract and figurative level, you are being pushed into awareness of this more closely. And it's not because, from a figurative sense, it's not because counting your sets at the gym matters. That's not what it's saying. Like, you could go purely based off vibes forever at the gym. It doesn't matter. It's saying your guides are pointing at this small example because you're starting to pay attention to these little things and you don't know why. Like, all of a sudden counting your sets is being questioned by you. And it's because you're moving into closer awareness of yourself, of life. And death here is both literal and figurative in this reading. You are connecting to the idea of dying, and figuratively, an old identity is dying at the same time. A lot of death here. There's something, it's not about actual death. It's really just when we don't connect with the idea that we are going to die, we come here with this sort of like daze and disassociation with a part of the journey. And a part of awakening and this dark night that you're going through is reconnecting with that in order to connect with yourself. And it's reconnecting you from within. This is another weird part about this, is like by connecting with the part of this process where we are inevitably going to die, we experience life in its truest form. And by not connecting to that, we cannot really experience and make decisions that are not illusioned. Your guides are saying there's like a big distortion that happens when we don't connect with this thing, with this aspect deeply. And we can logically infer, okay, yes, I know it's going to happen, but resonating with that is different. And that's what this dark night is doing, is it's forcing deep emotional resonance. A big part of why you're tired is reconnecting with this part that's real. And there's a lot of friction in that because, like, of course, we all fight that. Like, we come here in a daze to not want to think about that. Why do you think so many people are not thinking about it? It's because our instincts are fighting against that. So your guides want this reading, this really abstract, kind of like jarring reading. They want you to hear this because you're losing a version of yourself and you're reconnecting with this part of like death more clearly to be able to live in the current time fully. And there's a second part to this where like there's a person in this reading. I mean, there's a couple of things here. Your guides want you to know you're sort of feeling the loss of yourself in multiple ways. You're feeling it from someone else's perspective almost, what it feels to lose you. You're feeling that. And then you're also watching your identity fall away. You're in the gym being like, well, why have I never counted these sets? That's a small micro way of losing an identity. And you're doing that constantly. That's where all your energy is sort of going. And this other person here, there seems to be some messages about them. There seems to be some hyper specifics. So there's a deeper reading, I suppose. There's an odd connection to death and something really specific about it. If you feel, and I guess I'll just say this, if you feel you're kind of disproportionately feeling the loss of you, that's a part of another message through like the lens of another person, whatever it may be. Like you feel like you've experienced a lot of loss. There's a couple of messages about another person and friendships and connections here. But then there's like this weird note where if in this dark night, you are experiencing a connection to an old or a younger you more clearly, you have a separate message. This can show up in like envisioning your older self. Like out of nowhere, you're just like thinking about what your older self will look like when you get sick or aging. Like if that's coming to your conscious awareness, you have a message, and vice versa. If you are like envisioning your younger self all of a sudden, you're clearly thinking through parts of your childhood, like things are coming up in that way. There's some very specific messages here that I'll put in a separate message in the description. But ultimately, this collective message is saying to you, you are remembering yourself, and it's a very painful, dark process. This death and rebirth is more than what we conceptually understand a liminal space to be. It is experiencing the death yourself in these micro ways, in these small little occurrences. And then it is also experiencing the death through another person losing you. But the biggest thing here is understanding that you're reconnecting with yourself by doing this. You're moving closer to your purpose, your soul alignment. And in order to do that, parts of you have to die away. You have to go through a big loss relationally to access this. People don't experience dark nights without experiencing loss, without everything falling away. And so your main message, the collective main message, is this isn't things falling away so you're indefinitely suffering. This isn't things falling away so you can build a better version and be optimized and fixed. Things have to fall away for you to truly, truly know yourself, for you to reconnect to all parts of yourself, and to know that life is impermanent and start living in an aligned way. And this is the exact path of that. And you're already on that. And your confirmation is like, know that it's going to be difficult. Know that it's going to be rough. Know that you have to lose someone that matters to you, or they have to lose you. All of those things are a part of this dying process. But the rebirth is not a fixed you. The rebirth isn't, you're rebuilt. It is that you can see clearly your entire self and you make decisions based on who you deeply are. And that is your message. Okay, so this was a heavier message, it felt like. I'll maybe have to write some notes about it because, I'm still feeling like, whoa, what did I just talk? I just said death like 500 times. And you guys stood through that the entire time? Man, I love it here. I just love you guys so much. You have no idea. I don't have anything to say other than I'm feeling the exhaustion with you. Again, you guys know this. Whatever thing you're struggling with, I am definitely on the same struggle bus. I'm not sure how much that helps you, but we're in this together. Sleep also seems to be a big theme coming up. Whenever I have exhaustion waves in the collective, sleep starts getting affected, either indirectly or before or after. So I'll have to start creating some sleeping sounds to help with this wave. I think that's going to be important. I don't know if I'll get to it in this reading or maybe the next, but I will be diligently working on that for you to work through this. Other than that, I don't have much to say. I want you all to just know that I love you. In case I just don't say that enough. Do I say it enough? Do I say it too much? YouTube recently gave the ability to do like surveys, and I was like, oh, that's dangerous. I just like throw a survey at you guys. Like, anyway, I love you guys so much. Cheers, friends.